comment about it. I don't really think Parliament does any vetting there. Yeah, because I think the vetting is supposed to be an extra layer of scrutiny. That if somebody managed to sneak through the initial layers, take for example those members that are already members of Parliament, if they manage to sneak through or they manipulated the processes at the National Council for Higher Education, at UNEB, at the Electoral Commission, and they got elected as members of Parliament, then the vetting should actually be able to arrest the situation on issues such as academic qualifications. And in fact, this is not without precedent. In 2016, when James Kakoza, who was then member of Parliament representing the people of Kabula County, he was already a member of Parliament, but he was disqualified from taking up his role as minister on questions of academic qualification. Yeah. A similar thing happened to Muyanja Mbabari, who was already a sitting member of Parliament for Bukoto, I think Bukoto South. Yeah. So you can see that unless, of course, I'm privy to some of the reasons why these guys were eliminated, but still the grounds given were they held some water. Yeah. So that is what vetting should be about. Now, you cannot tell me that in 2 days, where you're working for 12 hours a day at most, you have been able to scrutinize and verify the authenticity of academic documents of 82 people. Okay, right. 80 minus the first lady. Okay, 80 or 81. Yeah, of 81 people, a committee of 39 people. They have not told us that they had a technology link linking them to UNEB, National Council for Higher Education, or universities for them to be able to verify some of these academic documents, for instance. They have not told us that they gave these guys time to submit these documents beforehand. Yeah. The other thing, they cannot even, you see, even when in the corporate world, when we are going through onboarding of new staff members, the vetting exercise doesn't happen in 48 hours. It doesn't. You do executive background check. You write back to the people that the person has, to the organizations or the companies that the person has indicated that they are former employers. You write to them and then get confidential references from these people, confidential reports. Yeah, even the people listed as referees, you write to them and get a confidential report or reference from these people. So the exercise usually takes about a month or so. So what we have under the law and what Parliament has created for rules in their rules of procedure, what they have provided for as vetting, is just a cosmetic exercise. It is a ritual for them to, to just clear people that have been presented, and then maybe the few unlucky guys, like Muganga was claiming, if you become the black sheep for the day, then you are thrown out. Or if you have bad PR, then you get thrown out. But there's no actual vetting exercise. Then also, there are people who have been perennial members of cabinet. The vetting exercise should look at their performance record. Yeah, I was on a different panel with a member of the vetting committee, who is also a young person, but of course much younger than myself. So she said, "How do I start vetting Kahindo Tafire?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? You should be able to ask Kahindo Tafire to show you what for the years he has been in cabinet. What does he got to show? How transformative has his leadership been? What has he contributed to the strategic leadership of Uganda?" For me, I cannot be in that vetting committee and then you come and walk away scot-free if I was, giving leadership in that committee. So there is no interrogation of the track record of these people. There is, even the basic things like, verification of documents is not happening. So what kind of vetting is taking place there? So I can confidently tell you that other than being a ritual and an exercise in posturing, Like you've seen, they come and say, okay, we have thrown out this one. Then the other one showed us an email that they have started the process of renunciation. Then they tell you we have asked the first lady to not to appear in person, blah, 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 blah. Posturing, playing to the gallery. There is no actual vetting taking place in that committee. That would be my humble submission on the question of vetting. Now, my final thoughts on the issue of citizenship, I think I will just reiterate what I have stated, and I think also has been stated here by Dr. Nyanzi. It is the issue of following the law. Let us promote a culture of following our laws, however bad they are. And if we feel they are bad, then let's go back and start the process of amending them and improving them to make them fit for purpose and commensurate with the times. Okay, so let's own that culture, and then also let us encourage people, especially academics and people who have traveled and got exposure. Let us encourage them to be people of integrity. Have the humility to say, I have been nominated for this position, but I don't qualify. You can tell off the appointing authority. At one point, Tom Butime was given a position as Minister for Karamoja, and he said, Your Excellency, with all due respect, I have nothing to contribute there. Yeah? And people thought that he had committed a sacrilegious sin. But as night follows day, President Yoweri Museveni returned him to cabinet after some time. Even Museveni respects people of principle. When Jennifer Musisi found that she was now being sacrificed at the political altar of President Museveni, she threw in the towel. She wrote a resignation, gave a notice, and went away. She did not wait for a response. She moved on. We should encourage people who have gone to school, people who are educated like Dr. Muganga, to be people of integrity. How will young children who are in university in first year be inspired if they cannot use people who are educated as role models? We should actually stop making our country banana republic or a shithole country, a shithole republic like Donald Trump calls it. So that is it. Then finally, on the State of the Nation, I think the team that helps President Museveni to prepare the speeches when he's coming, they should always, first of all, do proper preparations and find out what is the intention of this speech, what is the audience, what were the intentions of the framers of the Constitution when they provided for this occasion, and then help him to put that speech in